Okay. We'll do this. We'll do this quick and get this done. Today's date is Friday, June the 22nd, 2007. Time now is 3:56 p.m. I'm Detective Lieutenant Ken Mitchell along with Detective Chuck Knowles, currently in the CID Investigation Division of West Memphis Police Department, conducting an interview with Mr. Tony Anderson in reference to case 93-05-00666. I want to start off with you, Tony, and just do some background as far as your career. You were in law enforcement for how many years?
41.
Okay. And during those 41 years, did you have an area you specialized in?
Yes, sir, I was a fingerprint expert.
Okay. What agencies did you perform those duties for?
I worked for the FBI for 6 years where they taught me fingerprints. Then when I come to Memphis Police Department, I was in charge of the latent fingerprint section when I retired. I worked 25 years in Memphis.
Okay. And in May of 1993, were you working anywhere at that time?
I was working at the West Memphis Police Department.
Okay. And what division were you assigned to?
Detective Division.
Okay. What was your primary function at that time?
Mostly latent fingerprint work, and I worked document squad.
Okay. And did you have occasion to become involved in the triple homicide that happened on May the 5th of '93?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What role did you play in that investigation?
Was at the crime scene. We were searching for the boys, the 3 boys. And we come into Robin Hood Hills. We found a ditch there. At that time we found a sock and a tennis shoe, a young boy's tennis shoe. At that time, Brian Ridge went off in the water where the tennis shoe was, and Mike Allen went in the water. When they bumped into one of the children, floated up, they started downstream, and then I jumped in the water and started going upstream. As we found the 3 bodies, we pulled them out, and we just shut it down as a crime scene at that time. Later on, as I was walking around, and I found this fingerprint in the mud. It was an indention into the mud, and I seen that it was a fingerprint or a print. I don't know that it was a fingerprint. It might have been a side of a palm. It might have been the side of it, but in my opinion, I believe that it was a thumbprint or a fingerprint.
Was there anything else around it that you saw? Any other prints, be it fingerprints, shoe prints, anything like that?
Nothing that I could find.
Okay. How close to it would you think it was in relation to the boys' bodies?
If I remember correctly, it was within 5 to 10 feet before we found the first body.
Now the print that you saw, could you tell if it was made from someone that would be either on the bank facing the water or in the water going towards the bank?
It was, somebody was in the water, I'm sure, because it was at a 45-degree angle from the water.
You're the one that found this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you photograph it at the time?
Yes, sir. Well, we get the camera equipment and side light and put the side light on it and photographed it.
About what was this? About what time was this? Do you remember right offhand? Was it daylight or dark?
I don't remember.
Okay. What type of photography method did you use? As far as, did you use 35mm Polaroid, or do you?
I don't remember.
Okay. What I'm going to show you here is that this is basically a picture of a picture, and this appears to be a Polaroid photograph. Do you recognize what's on that photograph?
Yes, sir. That's the partial print that I photographed.
Okay. Can you tell me, and I'll go into something else here in just a second, but can you tell me, to the best of your memory, who all was down in that area that actually got into the water or along the bank?
Brian Ridge and Mike Allen were down in the water, and then I went down in the water. And I don't remember who all was around there. I mean, there was a bunch of us.
Did you find this print before it got congested down there?
Yeah, it was just about the time that we found the body. I mean, after we found the three boys, we were looking the area over, and I spotted this.
Okay. And did you ever do anything more with this photograph?
Yes, yes. We took fingerprints of the three boys at a later date.
Well, you say three boys, which ones are you talking
The
about?
three victims of the homicide, the three young boys.
Okay.
Every police officer that was at the scene, and then some that wasn't at the scene, we fingerprinted anybody that we felt like we needed questioning, we fingerprinted them. So I checked hundreds of prints against this Layton here. Without much detail in the thing, it would have been hard for me to make an identification. I can see probably 7 or 8 points on the thing, but it'd been a miracle if I had printed it, if I had identified the thing.
Did you you have occasion to fingerprint or compare this print with those of the three defendants in this case, Damian Eccles, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Miskelly Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did you find when you examined them?
Nothing.
Okay. Did you compare those against Mike Allen and Brian Ridge's prints?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you get anything from those?
Nothing.
Okay. This may be a silly question. Did you even compare it to your own on the off chance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And no match?
No match.
Okay. Excuse me. You said you printed and compared how many to this?
Hundreds. I had a list of everybody that I checked. I don't know, 14 years ago. It's hard to remember.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
it
sir.
was.
I know. Were there any other prints that found at that crime scene that you remember?
None.
Was there anything at that scene that stands out in your mind? And I understand that it's 14 years later, and that's going back a ways for anybody. But is there anything you remember from that day that stands out right in the area where I found the boys?
The only thing that stands out in my mind, and it still haunts me to this day, is the root from that tree just east of where we found the boys. The bank was slanted just a little bit, and it appeared that somebody had been tied up to one of those roots, because you could see marks like rope or string or something had been tied up. And we couldn't tell that there was any blood there, but we suspected that there was. So we got tents from Roller Citizens Funeral Home, put over it, put the luminol to it, and there was a big spot where somebody had bled out, or something had bled out. And so we assumed that was the scene where the actual killing had took place.